everyone, you're here with the Ninjas. Today we have Paid Memberships Pro on the channel, here with Andrew Lima, and we'll be talking about using Paid Memberships Pro for online courses and how would that look.
Yeah, thanks, Helena. Thanks for having me on this. It's pretty exciting to, do these collaboration videos and get to spread some knowledge through this platform.
Thank you so much for joining us. Let's just jump into it. A lot of our clients are building online learning sites, and when they're reaching out to us at that point where they're just getting started and they're not sure what tools they want to use, we just want to talk about what Paid Memberships Pro offers and how it can work both in integration with an LMS but also as a standalone solution.
Cool. Yeah, I can dive right in to that topic. It's been a debate, I think, for a long time now, especially in the WordPress space, as LMS plugins are starting to overlap with membership features. So it can be confusing to someone just starting out thinking like, hey, do I need a membership site or do I need an LMS site? It's really depends on what content you're providing on your website. It's more like, do you need structured content that people have to run through, post 1, 2, and 3? Or is it sort of like a Netflix sort of pay a monthly subscription and consume the content as you want? In those cases, Paid Memberships Pro and membership software often works on like a wider range. So it's a bit more flexible in terms of sites that are using membership software versus an LMS, and it's more suited for those sites that are like, you're going to pay a monthly fee and you're going to consume content how you wish, the typical like streaming services where it's like, I just want to watch these series, I don't want all the other channels that I don't want to watch.
Yeah, we actually have clients that are doing like both. So we have some clients that have like LearnDash with Paid Memberships Pro, or their other
Right.
LMS with Paid Memberships Pro. And then we also have some that are like, no, we just have a membership site and that's what they use to manage their content. But it really varies depending on the different business models and
Right.
content consumption schedules that they
Yes.
have. So I really want to dive into that and just look at the features that really stand out in Paid Memberships Pro that could be interesting for our users. So maybe we could take a look at that demo that you have.
Yeah, sure. Let me just share my screen real quick. Okay, cool. So this demo site, I did not build it like within a day or anything. This is actually publicly available on our website. If you just search for like the Paid Memberships Pro demo in Google, this page will come up. It's running on local WP, so it's just like a local install. We've also got like a one-click demo with InstaWP that's really similar to this one, just to let people feel out the features of Paid Memberships Pro and like some of the add-ons and features that we get to offer. Kim, the co-founder of PM Pro, actually did like this really cool design. It's using the theme that our company has built. It's what our site runs on. It's specifically like tweaked for Paid Memberships Pro. So this is not necessarily just a course demo. This is like a demo for like almost the whole entirety of PM Pro and the more popular add-ons. So right off the bat, one thing that is really popular with the membership space and our plugin in particular is different pricing. Having that flexibility where you can charge a monthly membership level, you can charge a yearly membership level, you can charge a once-off fee. You can let customers have multiple levels at any given time now. That's included in our free version since version 3.0, if I'm not mistaken. So basically, as an example, I could own like beginner, enhanced, and professional. So that would give you access to different areas on the website. So that's one cool feature on PM Pro that does really well. Some of these features are part of a paid product on our site. So, saying that it's not like all bundled in for free. There is a bit of a fee that you got to pay to gain some of this features. A really popular one as well with PM Pro is directory. So Paid Memberships Pro is really heavily focused on like the members and not so to say like companies or directories and things like that. It's really like a user-orientated product, where you can capture like custom fields, get information about your members, you know, like if you're an association or if you are running a course product, you can kind of see what people want, like what interests do they have, what courses are they in, and things like that. So you can start like, you know, building these communities around your members and really be member focused. And that's something like as a whole is where we strive for. So the directory is a paid feature, but you could imagine it like creating sub communities of, you know, if someone enrolls in course A or course about, I'll use dogs because this website's all about dogs. If it's like a dog breed course on like, or whatever, like doggy training, and you're on like the first level of the training, you can have like members in that specific level join this community and list all the members within that particular course. So that's something that's really cool. I'll dive into the courses just shortly. So the pricing page, this is something that we saw on the homepage. So if I select the level, you know, we've got like a really neat, cool redesigned checkout page with custom fields that people can capture during checkout, multiple payment gateways. And again, we handle all like the subscriptions and that, and we communicate with the gateways. So it's really good. It's a really good solution to get paid for access to content and courses and everything in between. Like we restrict up to 28 types of content, including like page builder content. So it's almost like we can restrict everything. And then we like building cool little upsells and things like that. Just a quick one, I can show you this feature as a admin of like running PM Pro. I can kind of like view what my site would look like without access. So for example, this could be a course, or in this case it's just a post. You know, we show a cool little paywall that says like, hey, you got to sign up for membership access to gain the access to this content, and we can dive into like how that looks with courses shortly.
Of course, and what looks really interesting to us from our side and for our users is that you can, like, the possibilities that you can configure with the membership levels, sort of like the tiers, are very wide, because you can essentially create bundles, you can create learning paths.
That is correct.
Different levels of learning, so that is very useful for our users. In terms of actually a timing access for any of this, is there any feature available for that?
Timing access, so we've got a bunch of like custom code snippets that we offer our paying customers, and you can actually find it on GitHub, and like if you just do a Google search, it'll come up. We don't restrict any of our code, you know, we fully open source to get access to that. We also offer, so with custom code recipes, let me just touch on that. You can like unlock a post after it's been published for X amount of days. So if you want like, I don't want to say stale, but like older content that is like no longer like trending, you can kind of just offer it as a free non-member access. A good example for this is like a podcast. So you can charge members a monthly fee to your podcast, and if or even your courses for that matter, if it's very time sensitive, like these what you call it, like these weekly or monthly like fitness challenges, like so to speak, is very time orientated. So like after that course finishes, it's like, hey, we're deploying a new course now for like the next, like whatever winter, whatever season it is. You can use a custom code recipe to say like, hey, this post was restricted now, or like this course was restricted, let's open it up. So that's one way to do like a time-based sort of restriction or opening up, which is the inverse of what I think you're asking for. And then we've got a paid product called the series add-on, which offers drip feed content. And what that does is it automatically unlocks posts and content, courses and lessons included, if you configure it that way, to unlock after a certain amount of days that member has signed up for. So if I sign up on the 1st of November 2024, I can say within 7 days give them the second lesson, or give them the first 3 lessons within the first week, and then thereafter each week we unlock a lesson, and then it just automatically emails them saying like, hey, there's new content that's part of your membership that's now available.
So in this sense, right, at this stage of what we've been discussing, basically Paid Memberships Pro can really well handle courses in terms of content protection, and also in terms of even if content dripping is required, it can be configured. And
Yes.
so it's really flexible in that regard, and it's also one of the reasons why we work with it with some of our clients, because, well, it's open source, as you said. We can get into the code if that's necessary. But I do want to dive a little bit deeper into this content protection functionality, because I know that's something that really concerns our clients.
Yeah, that's a popular one that, it's one of those high priority features that we focus on, like payments being another one that's an important part of any e-commerce membership LMS platform, if I can call it that. So with content restriction, like I said, we can restrict, and I might be a little bit wrong here with my numbers, but it's around 28 types of content. This includes like default WordPress pages, custom post types, if you're using pods or like a custom post type builder plugin in WordPress. Elementor is a popular one that we've integrated with. We're planning on integrating with more page builders because, we want that to be fluid. We've also heavily invested in blocks within the block editor of WordPress. So we've built this cool, I think it's almost like an inner block that you can show and hide content based on membership level. That allows you to restrict sections of the post. So it's not just like the whole post is restricted. You can kind of give a little teaser before, getting to the real juicy bits of the post and the content that will actually sell and, make conversions for you. So that's, there's so many ways to restrict content. We even restrict non-WordPress files. So if you have files within your WordPress installation, there's a way to configure PM Pro to say like, hey, only serve this content and allow this content to be available to your logged in members.
Yeah, that's a really big one. I really want to ask about videos, PDF downloads, slide downloads, because all of this is very frequently used in online learning sites. So this file protection would come in right here.
Yeah, cool. So videos can be a little bit difficult. Like if you're serving it through YouTube, there's no real way that we can stop, we don't have a layer between YouTube and the direct link. So that's like where the confusion comes in. With a hosted service, we recommend Vimeo because Vimeo has an option to like delist the video publicly, but you can still embed it on your website. So that means if they go directly to the Vimeo source, they won't be able to view the video, but then you can restrict that page on your website, embed it, and then only members can access that content. And then another popular way for videos is to just actually host it directly on your website. I know that comes with a bit of cons to doing that, obviously like resources and your server and your load and all of that. So it's not ideal, but it is possible to do that if you understand like your server requirements and you understand like the web hosting side of things. But Vimeo is our go-to. We do not limit the number of downloads you can do. That's something that we're looking at to do in the future with Paid Memberships Pro and an integration of sorts. We do currently integrate with Download Monitor, I think that's what it's called. That allows you to set up like, hey, membership level 1 gets 10 downloads per month. Thereafter, they cannot download the PDFs. And as I mentioned, you can restrict non-WordPress files as well as your uploads, WP content, folder, directory to be like no direct access unless you're logged in as a member. So it just needs a little bit of tweaking on PM Pro side with like a small code recipe, but it is definitely possible.
Okay, this is really, really important, and especially with the video hosting. And we actually also try to recommend external video hosting, the same as you guys do, because of the server load. But maybe for smaller courses that don't have as much video, then just hosting it on the site might be okay, also depending on their hosting provider.
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot of resources to host video. And sometimes maybe people are in over their head, or like I said, use YouTube in some cases where you would still be able to embed the YouTube video unlisted, but people can share that link and there's no control over that. So Vimeo is our go-to. We've got all docs. Like if anyone that watches this is a little bit confused or wants to know more, like just Google, we'll come up with these, these solutions. So
Great. And for this same scenario, is there anything that allows students taking courses through Paid Memberships Pro alone to do any sort of progress tracking, maybe on their student profile, their member profile?
Okay. Cool. Let me just go back to the site real quick. So we've Paid Memberships Pro itself doesn't focus on courses functionality. We've got a free add-on that builds like a simple course sort of LMS, which is just kind of, ideal for someone starting out that, maybe you have one or two courses. You don't really need like quizzes and all these like the bells and whistles that come with an LMS. And we'll dive into that, but we've got a demo here on courses. So this is really a dummy course, and again, it's just using like a dog lorem ipsum sort of filler placeholder stuff. So if you go to like the first lesson, the sit command, you can like mark it as complete and then move on to the next course, and then mark it as complete and go through it. And then you're able, with our integration, you are able to create unlimited courses and things like that. I can show you what that looks like real quick. Let me just go to the dashboard. So once you install the courses add-on, there will be a courses CPT here. If you go to all courses, we only have one course on the demo with 7 lessons, but you can just add a new course and then add your lessons to it. So it's really like creating a blog post with whatever content you want in, embedding videos, doing things like that. And then the course settings, it's enabled by default, but our courses integration allows you, the default option is like what I showed briefly on the demo site. And then there's options to integrate from our end with Lifter LMS, LearnDash, Sensei, and Tutor LMS. And then that kind of just handles like the content restriction side, where the LMS plugin will handle the enrollment and the course, like delivering that course content. So that just gives you a bit of an example.
And with this add-on, with this add-on that we're seeing on screen, of course, if there's any like more advanced LMS features like interactive content or quizzes or certificates, those would have to be integrated separately.
Yeah, look, there would be workarounds. Like I said, the lesson is basically just a blog post at the end of the day, like under the hood, that we've just like structured in a way. So you could use like a contact form to do a quiz. You can embed videos for your lessons and things like that. So we use this version internally for our onboarding, our support engineers, and we've got a little quiz that's just like a multiple choice, choose the most correct answer. It's just a form, and then that submits to like whoever needs to see it. But for example, like where it says like the stay command, in there you just embed your form, and then they can run through the form, submit the form as if they would submit any contact form on any website, and then just mark it as complete and move on. So it's more lightweight. It's not really going to give you marks and like you passed or failed. It's kind of like a bit of a manual process with this integration.
Yes, it really applies to more simple use cases. I can see specifically in terms of the progress tracking and reporting capabilities, grading, all of that. Of course, then it pays off to maybe do Paid Memberships Pro with an LMS in that regard, because there's no clear way to get that information pulled out into a, for example, school report if it's just a separate contact forms, right?
Yeah, right. We, like I said, we focus on like the members and the user information and like building those type of websites. This is for the more simpler course creators that just need like structured data. Running an actual LMS integration or an LMS platform or plugin alongside PM Pro is the way to go if you need more of that reporting. The reporting that is available on PM Pro is more like revenue-based, members-based, like your sign-ups, your sales, active members per level, for example. So you can start aggregating the data somewhat. If you say like, hey, if you purchase the enhanced membership level, you'll get access to my course. You can kind of figure out like, okay, I've got 100 members on the enhanced course, so I've got 100 students.
Yeah.
But it won't give you the fine metric of this is how many have enrolled, performance, right? Like this is how far they are in the course. They've only done 2 lessons, and then, you know, it's like, why is the drop off on only lesson 2 and they're not completing up to lesson 5, for example? So it's very, very lightweight, just for those cases where it's, you know, you need the bare basics and the bare minimum of a LMS.
And in those cases, I can also see well, at least a performance benefit. Like if your needs are basic and you don't want to super overload your site, have a lot of plugins installed, then why not just go with one solution and keep your site lightweight, make sure it runs fast. I think keeping it a single solution is best. And then once you start getting complex needs or need more grading certificates, then maybe the combo would be better. Is there a particular LMS that Paid Memberships Pro integrates the best with?
Oh yeah,
Sure.
So look, with our code being open source, there's integrations from both sides. Like the LMS plugins and developers, they integrate into PM Pro. But from our end, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we've got a large stake in Lifter LMS. So we work really closely with Lifter LMS. We've built a streamlined version. We called it the streamlined version. It's almost like a one-click wizard that hands off all the membership functionality to PM Pro when you install Lifter LMS. So yeah, all our focus like on the LMS side of things is with Lifter LMS. We invested in them last year, and we're working really closely and integrating the two as seamlessly as possible. So that's our go-to.
Okay, that's pretty cool. And in this term of the integrations, what are the clearest benefits or the things that your users like the most about using the two together? Like what has been the tipping point for your users saying, okay, I want to do both. I want to do both the membership plugin and the Lifter LMS plugin together, for example?
Yeah, so we found that either they've started a membership site, and now they want to branch out into courses for that structured data and those like quizzes and enrollment and like having students. And it goes the other way, where they've created an LMS site, and now it's like, I want to offer, say, a community, or how do I restrict access to Slack, or, you know, I want to create like a Facebook group, but on my website, how do I do that? So it's almost at that point that we find most of our customers and users are at when they take the dive on either direction, depending on where they're coming from. And also like it varies from like business to business. I mean, I've seen almost like a one person run, like a solopreneur running, you know, an online course business and membership, to, you know, a corporation doing it for the internal training, for example, you know, and then having like an intranet of membership levels that the employees have access to. So it's like you got your management, you know, and then you got your employees, and you got your directors. So it helps control that within like an internal website as well.
Yeah, I can totally see that, like a user having their online course and then suddenly being, okay, I want to publish this blog post, but it includes some sensitive data from our courses, so I want to restrict the blog too. And then I have this page, but not everyone should be able to see it. And then that's where that would come very handy.
Yeah, and it's also when people want to start charging for that access, that's like where they do the switch to the membership side of things. Because, I mean, in WordPress, you can just make the post private and email your learners saying like, hey, the password for this post is 12345, whatever the password may be. Don't use those passwords, but and give access. So, you know, it's that switch. I think it's almost like a scaling. They start growing the business. So it's like, I'll start with one course. Say, like coming from PM Pro side, they install this plugin. They have like a handful of courses, like say 3 courses, and now they want to start getting interactive and build engagement. That's when we say like, okay, look at Lifter LMS for your quizzes, your interaction, your things like that. So.
And in this regard, now that we're touching into the business side of thing, the money side of thing, why don't we go over the monetization options and the pricing models that you have available for these memberships?
Okay. Are you just referring to like Paid Memberships Pro, or just how to set it up in Paid Memberships Pro?
Yeah, paid
like paid
memberships.
memberships pro itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because I
Okay.
know that
Cool.
there are
Yeah.
several ways that people might want to sell their memberships. Maybe they want to
Ah.
sell a membership
Right.
for a year. Maybe they want to structure it differently.
Oh,
So I
cool.
just want to give our viewers an overview of the different options that they would have available if they were to set this up with Paid Memberships Pro.
Cool. Okay. So I'll just pretend to create a dummy level. I won't save anything. So we've got this cool, almost wizard one-click sort of template that we've made it like even easier for users and customers to do and get set up even quicker. Like that's the goal here. We want people to start earning money as quickly as possible. So, we got the one-time fees, the monthly fees, the annual fees, a lifetime that never expires, a free level. You can almost go a bit wild with this, but for this example, I will just go, let's do advanced since we're doing it. So we can name your level, like let's just say a new level. And then you can just add like the content, like what the description is, things like that. Does it expire? That means, you're giving access to this membership level for X amount of hours, days, weeks, months, or years, before they would have to pay you again. So that's kind of like the one-time payment. It's not a lifetime payment. So it's like a time payment. And then what you can do is you can charge, like say, I'm going to create a membership level that will I'll charge them $50. And then I'm going to select recurring because I want like the recurring revenue. So I can say, okay, it's going to be $100 per year. And then what that will do is it will create a subscription during checkout, and then they pay $50 on initial sign up. It can be any amount you want. I think it's more the limitation on the gateway on like what's the max limit the gateway allows you to spend. Like sometimes it's whatever, like $3,000, $10,000, whatever the cap is. And then thereafter, I'm going to be charging X amount per year, per month, per day, whatever it may be, depending on, how you're serving your content. That ties in with how you charge your customers. Then on top of that, you can also charge customers with a billing cycle limit. That means for your recurring charges, like if it's a monthly charge, you can say like, hey, I want to charge him for 6 months and then stop charging. So you'll set that number to 6. You can start doing custom trials. So you can say like, hey, it's going to be $50 upfront, $100. Let me just say per month, because then this trial will make a bit more sense. And then I'll say like, but actually for the first like 2 months, I'm going to charge them $50. So it'll be $50 during checkout. Then the next 2 recurring payments will be $50, and thereafter it will be charging $100. So it's quite flexible in terms of, your trials and pricing. I could say like, I want $0 upfront, and then within a month you get a month free. I'm going to start charging $50 for the first 2 months and then $100 thereafter. So you really do get a lot of flexibility in terms of payment, pricing, and plans and things like that.
Yeah, you can basically then also set up your payment plans, the typical free trials that a
Right.
lot of online courses offer, like try our course for 1 month and then you have to renew. So that's really cool. And there's also this option where you can create separate memberships for single courses, but can you nest all of these memberships under another membership? So a membership that includes access to all the other memberships, could that be set up for like a
Yeah.
bundle, all access pass?
Okay, yeah. So to create an all access pass kind of like setup, you would actually you would create a level, and you would say like, okay, it's an all access. I'm going to charge $5,000 one time, lifetime deal, $5,000. You'll set up your pricing to be $5,000. Let's just do this as an example. No recurring. There's no expiration. You pay me $5,000 when you sign up. You would just add all the content on your site, for example, or select the specific ones that are already selected on the other membership levels. So if I have level 1 and it's got access to food and treats, I will also select it here in my all access level. So it's just copying basically the settings of each level and giving it access to everything. So that's a way of doing it.
It's super easy to create bundles this way. You can just do it the same way as you would be creating a single membership. You can just create bundles, or even from an online learning standpoint, this could also be used to create learning paths. So basically, all advanced content is part of one membership, all intermediate content is part of another one. So
Yeah,
really
that
like
is
this.
possible. And then something else that is really cool that we released in version 3 for free is multiple memberships per level. Like you said, you can create a level per course. That's really popular if you want to charge on a per course basis. So like Doggy Training 101 will be $50 once off. Doggy Training Level 2 is $100 per month, for example, and you get more access than the first one. And then your all access is like a combination of both. So you can make it that, people can hold Doggy Level 101 and Level 2 at the same time, but not an all access pass as well. The all access pass can be like treated as a separate group. So we've added features, and I'll maybe, if I actually show you the settings, it'll make more sense. So we've got groups. So this allows you to even group your content or like your membership structure. So if I create a new group, I can say like this is for more advanced learners. And then I select this option like users can choose multiple levels per group. And then I start creating the group, and then that's where they can start combining level 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 all at the same time and give you access to bits and pieces of your membership sites and courses. So that's a cool feature.
Very cool. And in terms of learning experience, what community features and capabilities are available that members could use also as a part of, the social learning experience, and how are those locked in behind levels?
Okay, cool. So the most popular ones that we've got is BBPress, which is forums. And then we've got an integration for BuddyPress and BuddyBoss. So that's your like social networking groups and accounts like that. I don't have it installed on this demo, but it almost works the same way as restricting a page or post or content. There's settings to say like, hey, if the member is in the beginner membership level, add them to this group on BuddyPress or BuddyBoss. And then you can create a specific group for those learners in that course. And that starts creating the community side of things on like the Facebook type social profile sort of solutions. We do really similar settings to the BBPress side of things, where you can create forums, again, to encourage discussions and topics around courses, like almost like a self-help or help each other within your course by creating forums and then restricting that forum to only require a specific membership level. So again, all members of the beginner level will only be able to access a beginner forum. And then once you upgrade or upsell to like a professional, you might get more. Again, with the lifetime access, you can control like lifetime gets access to everything, all social features, all community features within those products, versus like only having access to like your specific group for that specific course or content or niche or anything like that.
Okay. And in terms of pricing, how is Paid Memberships Pro pricing right now, and what are the difference in terms of these features that we discussed that might be included or not in the different options? Because I know only some of the things we talked about are available in the free version. So maybe we can take a quick look at the pricing.
Yeah. Let me pull up the website so we can chat through it. I hope it shares my screen. Let's just see. Can you see the screen? Yeah, we can see the screen. So currently we are offering 50% off the first year payment for Paid Memberships Pro plans. We actually run Paid Memberships Pro on Paid Memberships Pro itself. So, we like to dog food our own sort of solutions and features. And behind the scenes, we actually test out on our website before releasing major versions. So we like testing the beta features to make sure it works 100% before we get there. But basically, you can get started for free. We still, we believe in open source. Our code is all on GitHub for developers and contributors and anyone that just wants to try the products out. The free version will get you like 90% there. Like I said, you just need... you actually just need an email account to like get into the downloads and things like that. But it's totally free. Obviously there's running costs on any website, like your domain fees and things like that, that you have to take into account. But it will get you 90% there if you want like a membership site, and more likely the LMS, like we touched on with that courses plugin, that's included in the free version. Once you bump up to the standard plan, you start getting access to more add-ons and features. There's like a whole bunch of there's 21 add-ons included in the standard plan. So that gives you, affiliate tracking, for example, multiple gateways at checkout with the Add PayPal Express, things like that. And then that gives you also access to our premium support. So that's like more in-depth support. And that's something that we also strive for, is offering like great support and trying to solve any problem, even if it's not in or caused by Paid Memberships Pro. So like we'll at least try to give you an answer and say like, hey, it looks like the error is here, contact whatever plugin provider or your host or anything like that. And then when you bump up to the Plus plan, that kind of gives you like the all access plan in terms of add-ons, and you get an extra site license. So it's actually almost like the price is divided by two in a sense, because you get to use it on two sites. So yeah, then you get everything. You get your directory add-on, you get approvals, which is a really important one. If you want to make sure like people are submitting the right information and things like that. And then the enterprise is just basically a plus plan with custom uses and a little bit more consulting and support in that regard.
So for a user that's looking to build their LMS site with simple courses like we discussed using Paid Memberships Pro, or that is looking to use Paid Memberships Pro with, let's say, Lifter LMS, which would be the plan that you would recommend to just getting started?
Yeah, so look, you can get started for free for both plans. Lifter LMS is freely available, and that Streamline integration that I spoke about is included in the free version. You don't have to pay for that. So that's a good way if you're really starting out to just feel the waters, like see what sticks in terms of like your courses and if you're going to get signups and things like that. I would say try jump straight to the Plus plan if you can for $299 for the first year. That just gives you like access to everything. You don't have to worry about like, you don't have access to like the directory add-on, so to speak. That's our most popular plan. We find it gives actually the most value to the customers at the end of the day if they go for the Plus plan. I think I can ramble on about like all the features that you can do with PM Pro. I don't want to bore you with it, but yeah, definitely the Plus plan. As you can see, it's like a ton of stuff. And also one thing to note is we have some like customer restricted code recipes and guides and documentation that requires either a paid plan like standard or higher to access. And this is really your like those tweaks that I spoke about earlier, where it's, I want to unlock a post after X amount of days that was restricted by a membership level automatically, like after 30 days unlock the post. So that's available to our paying members just to give them, support around those code snippets, and yeah, just continue the development of the platform and project.
Of course. So for all of that more detailed customization, it's better to just start up right here. And also, if you're looking for a Paid Memberships Pro expert, here at Winninjas, we have an amazing team that loves Paid Memberships Pro, has worked with it extensively, and we can help you get any of those codings tweaked to your specific scenarios.
Yeah, definitely.
So in the future, are there any upcoming features that you're planning or that are roadmapped that are relevant to online course creators or course content creators?
Okay, so I think most of the development efforts are happening Lifter LMS side. So as we get requests in, we kind of feed it through to Lifter LMS. Again, that's our go-to product. It's like a sister company now to us. So we've got a lot of efforts and investment in that project, and it doesn't make sense to overlap in terms of like just install Paid Memberships Pro. You're kind of cutting one another off if you do that. So Lifter LMS is going to be focusing on that. We in regards to like Paid Memberships Pro features, we are focusing a bit on like your EMS sort of integrations at this point in time, and just also focusing on the core product. We pushed really hard for version 3.0 to have like multiple memberships per user. That was a big feature that took, I'm not gonna lie, I think almost 10 years to develop and make sure it's working correctly, because it's there's so many moving parts to a membership site. So we're just continuing to grow and develop the core product for our customers and users and just make it that much better. and easier to work with. Like that's constant. That's like our vision. We are reworking the directory add-on to make it even better, make it like smarter, make the search better. So it's a lot of like member focused sort of improvements and integrations before like not focusing on courses or LMS. That's kind of, we letting Lifter LMS hand that integration, and we just making sure that we integrate smoothly with Lifter LMS for that sort of, you know, again, that customer that needs a advanced solution.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for taking the time to be on our channel. It was a pleasure having you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
And we will leave the link to Paid Memberships Pro down in the description. So if you want to check it out, it'll be linked there along with our Paid Memberships Pro customization services.